Hi everyone, we are back with war number 7 today, and we're going to be going up against the Alliance New Nation. We're going to be bringing in Black Widow Clairvoyant, Mr. Negative, and Omega Sentinel. This first fight, we are going to be using Black Widow Clairvoyant against this thing here. We had to make some slight modifications to the plan right before war. So I did bring up Claire to rank 4 right before this war to take a couple fights. So the strategy here, though, is pretty straightforward. I found a video of Claire taking thing here. But basically, we're just going to heavy attack only while we're still in our bleed, curse phase, whatever we want to call it, on Claire. And that's going to keep his rock stacks under control, and it's going to help us build power fast and get our clairvoyant charges built up so that when we throw our special 3s, they'll do a good chunk of damage. So as you can see, things are going fine right now, except for I missed a parry, or I couldn't parry him, so I dropped my block for some reason because I was not paying attention closely. As you can see, this fight kind of goes poorly for 100% my fault. There's no reason this is not a great matchup. As you can see, first special 3 took him down to 60%. So this matchup is completely fine. I just don't do a good job of playing it. His heavy attack is very easy to counter with your own heavy. Special 1 is easy to counter with your own heavy. So you're just going to have to take some hits in the block, but there's no reason you can't just easily keep this fight completely under control the whole time. Here, you're going to see me be greedy and try and get my charges to 20 instead of just throwing it with 18, so I take another hit to the face. I then decide I'm going to throw the special 3 while his protection's up. So this is going to waste a bunch of time, as this is going to do 1% of his health. So that's the other thing while taking this fight. You want to make sure obviously his protection's down, both from the node and from him throwing heavies. And there I just completely waste a special 3. So we're going to stick with the same plan though. Keep building up and just heavy attacking only, either from his heavy attack or from his specials. And then obviously making sure before we throw our special 3 that protection is down. So right here, I believe we're going to throw, oh no, he's got his protection up, so we're going to wait. And then the Fury drops, so we kind of have to wait again, unfortunately. We knock him down here, and we're going to throw this special 3. And this should end the fight, I believe. So definitely sloppy, but if played correctly, this is a perfectly fine counter, just slightly on the slow side. Our next fight, moving our way up path 5, is going to be against this Kitty Pride here, and we're going to be using Omega Sentinel. I did throw on Suicide since my next 3 fights are all Omega Sentinel fights. This fight here, kind of, I want to say a nothing fight, super easy. Only thing you really need to watch out for is obviously when she throws her heavy, she goes unstoppable. And that when you do knock her down, you want to make sure you're kind of keeping track of when your Fury is going to drop, so that when the protection comes back, you're ready for her to shrug any debuffs, especially if you parry her right before it. We are running power back boosts, and we're going to start on the cowardice just to remove all the power she starts with. And then we're going to knock her down and just build our way to a special 2. I apparently can't parry at the beginning of this fight. We finally get it together. We're going to keep track of the stun. There she shrugs off the protection. We're going to knock her down. We'll dex out of this and then throw our own special 2, which would take a massive amount of damage off. And I throw a special 3 here for absolutely no reason, as she was going to take down from the plasma damage. So this is just wasting time, increasing my fight time, which several of the officers love me doing. So, you know, gotta go for the style points with a special 3 finish. This next fight, we're going to be taking Jabari Panther. With the Wags, this is a little bit easier. You can just knock her down with your heavies. because she does cleanse debuffs, our stuns are not going to stick. So my plan going in here was just to throw our special ones to get our knockdowns. You can see the cleanse is on cooldown, so I could parry her and heavy myself. I decided to just play it safe and just rely on the specials, because I just don't want to make a mistake, eat a combo from her, and have things get out of hand. So you'll see this is just a safe way of doing it. We'll save our specials for when we need to knock her down. But as you can see, plenty of damage going out this way, so this strategy works completely fine, and Jabari is not really a big danger here as long as you play it smart. And one more combo here, and that's going to end the fight. So, quick fight, not dangerous at all with Omega Sentinel, just taking some damage into block. This next fight goes poorly. I'm going to make several mistakes. It was the fight I was definitely the most concerned about. Omega Sentinel versus Nick Fury in general is not a fight that is an issue for me, I would say. I've taken it several times before and not had problems. The issue with this season, and which will be an issue next season, is that when Omega Sentinel has the power burn, it does make it a little tricky to push Nick Fury to his special twos. And obviously that's the way you want to play Nick Fury. You kind of want to make sure he's only throwing special twos ideally, just so you don't have to worry about his tactical charges getting out of control and getting him to a special 3. So at the beginning of the fight, I was trying to play it safe by parrying to reduce his tactical charges. I decided to basically ruin my invulnerability right away, so we're already in a bad spot. And as you can see, we're struggling to get him to a special 2 already. So we're going to parry here, full combo, and throw our special 2. And this is going to get him to a second life. Now, the other issue with the power burn is that because of it, we're going to push him back and forth in between his special 2 and his special 1. Now, the issue on this note with that is we're going to get a bunch of power stings. As you can see there, we have 3 power stings just because he's going back and forth between the 2. 2 are going to fall off, and we're going to throw this one, and we're down, and he's very low now. He's right at the end of his health, and I could have probably comboed that out. Bare minimum, I could have stopped my combo, let him hit on my block, and then just finish the combo. But because I'm not keeping track of the power stings, I throw a special 2, and I take 40k damage from it and die instantly. So just a major mistake on my end. I had to hit the intercept there because he was unblockable, so I was 100% focused in on that instead of keeping track of the power stings at the same time. So just a major mistake on my part. At the time of the war, we were winning 2-3, so this put us at 3-3 on the war, tied up. So it was a critical moment in the war as well, and you're gonna see we're gonna do one hit and he dies, just to make things even better. So at this point, I was absolutely furious, and I put the phone down before taking this next fight. Looking back at it, there's a couple things I could have done better. Throwing medium attack instead of light ending combos would have given more power. That may have helped reduce the issue of the power going back and forth. Obviously, I could have just comboed out instead of throwing the special. So a couple things there that could have went better. But again, the power burn just makes that fight trickier, unfortunately, instead of easier. This next fight is also going to be a little bit of a struggle. So I didn't think this fight was going to be easy, but I didn't think it was going to be as painful as it is. The issue here is that once the intercept and I lose my Fury, he gets his protection back and he shrugs all the debuffs. So what I really need to do is just make sure I throw special 2s no matter what. And that was the plan, and I accidentally pushed myself to a special 3 here. Now this is going to slow down the fight a ton. So this is going to do a bunch of damage, but all of our charges are gone. which means our ability to remove his debuffs are also gone. So basically right here, we're kind of in no man's land, and we're just going to do our best to push them to special ones and then bait them out so that we can kind of make our way back to our special 2 to kind of reset this fight. And while that's happening, he is regenning up a ton of health. So this is not going well at all. So he's basically back at 70%. We've kind of reset the fight. We're going to hit it, intercept, and throw our special 2. At this point, I learned from my mistake, and I'm just going to throw special 2s right away when I have them. So we're going to dex into this one. I don't care if the Fury is up or not. In this case, we do lose it. Not a huge issue, so we can parry. We have our charges, so we can rip his debuffs off. We're going to dex into the special 2 again. Protection's up, so we're not getting a bunch of damage from it. But the critical part is making sure we keep our charges so that we can remove his debuffs. We hit another intercept here. We hit dex into this special 2. At this point, I wanted to make sure we just bait out his special 2 here, take it all in a block. Does a decent amount of damage, but not a big issue. Hit another intercept, throw a special 2 again. So we kind of have the rhythm down now. We're going to bait out this last special 1, and we're going to finish with a combo. So we end with a full yellow bar, but that fight got a little dangerous. So that wasn't the ideal matchup, obviously. There's plenty of champs that would work better. But because we needed to take that thing as well, and we needed one champ to take both, that was kind of the option I thought would work best. And it worked fine, just a little finicky there with that Gorr. So fight time was also an issue again. These next 2 are going to be with Mr. Negative. I had not taken this fight before. I was very confident it would work, though, without too much issue. So similar to usual when taking this path, we're going to want to get to about 8 or 9 charges, and then evade counter. We're going to knock him down here. And because he had a bar power, we're just going to let him hinder our block and then evade counter to build our charges. So we don't get the Fury, unfortunately, from that one, but keeping our charges at a high level is a lot more important. I'm also pretty confident heavy countering both his specials to remove his forms, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to bait this special 2 out, and heavy counter to knock it down and rip the form off. We're going to bait this one out, and then we're going to evade counter here. We have 16 dark energy, and we're going to throw the special 3. Now, looking back, I probably should have built a little bit more dark energy just to be safe to make sure this killed, but I was pretty confident this was going to be enough damage. And as you're going to see, we do take him down with just one big special 3. So, really impressive damage from Mr. Negative, basically taking it from almost 85% health to 0 with just one big special 3. So super happy with how that went. If I took it again, I would have built, there's no reason I shouldn't have built up to 20 or 19 dark energy there. This next fight, we are going to be going up against Longshot. Same exact strategy here. Only worry for this fight is mainly just if he becomes a little aggressive and I get back in my corner. Sometimes he's a little stingy with his specials. Here we're just trying to build light energy. We're in a good spot with 8. We're going to evade counter, combo into him, and we want to bait special ones only, just to be safe. And here he really doesn't want to throw it. So we're getting close to our corner. He finally throws it. And it's right when our Fury falls off. So perfect. We can evade counter and do it there. We're going to try and build a little bit more light energy here. And evade counter. And then we're going to throw our special 3. The reason I paused there, I should have hit him right after the evade counter. I forgot that the evade counter actually doesn't give you any power. So, but he's down at 40%. This is clearly plenty of damage. And yeah, he goes down before we get even all the damage tick from our dark damage from the special 3. So super clean negative fights. Obviously the Fury fight went poorly, but thankfully the Alliance did great and we ended up winning this war 6-3. So this is our second time in a row beating New Nation, which is a little surprising since they're obviously one of the top alliances for war, no question. But this does put us 5-2 on the season, so we're in a great spot to finish top 10. So hopefully we can close it out. Thanks for watching.